Thomas Tuchel's response to taking the lead against Argentina was to replace Anthony Gordon with Ezri Konsa, before later bringing on Dan Burn for Reece James and Nico O'Reilly for Declan Rice. Tuchel was asked by Faye Carruthers whether going to 5 at the back, at least 5, sent out the wrong message.
Yeah, if you say it like this, it's a beautiful thing to simplify.
I'm not a football coach though, so I'm simplifying it from a you know.
And this is okay. You can do that, and I took the decision. I take the responsibility, but I will not now go to a hypothetical approach, because no one knows what would have happened if I put 3 strikers on. So if I put 3 strikers on and we lose the match, you will ask me the same question if I send the wrong message. So I try to help the team. That's my job. I cannot care about what other people in the end think about it. It's about I take responsibility for this. It's part of the job. It's no problem.
3 strikers. What's he talking about? No one told you what 3 strikers on. Great questions from Faye as well.
Yeah.
I get it, it's after the game. He's talking a load of nonsense there.
Yeah, and it is, straight after the game, it can be difficult. And by the way, talkSPORT understands, well, Mark Bullingham said the FA have got no plans to sack Thomas Tuchel off the back. And again, that's a soundbite immediately after the match. They will sit down and talk about it, when everybody's back at home. And by the way, England's next game after the World Cup is a Nations League game at home to Spain. Now, if we lose that, again, Thomas Tuchel might say, I want to stay. I'm taking this into the next Euros. But he may not be allowed to.
It's all good saying that from the FA, but wait till you get a game at Wembley.
Yeah.
Let's see what you say after that.
Yeah.
When the negativity and the no belief and the boos will be, you know what we're like. We're that disappointed now. Like, they're not going to forgive Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
No way.
But again, it's the same. It's straight after the match. Mark Bullingham's not going to say, that was dreadful, we want him out now, is he? He's simply going to say, of course the coach has got our support. Look, let's get the views of the former England winger, Andros Townsend. Morning, Andros.
Morning, Andros.
Good morning, how are we?
Yeah, we're okay considering, Andros. Look, I know you've been a big Thomas Tuchel supporter over, the last umpteen months and the such like. How do you feel about him today?
To be honest, I disagree with 95% of all the stuff I've heard post-match.
Right.
I think what happened with England was the state of the game and the way the game went, not the way the manager set them out. Because England scored in the 55th minute and Argentina kicked off. England pressed really high against Argentina straight from the kickoff, which says to me the message from the bench was, go again, go again. They kicked the ball out for a throw-in. Argentina got it again. England pressed high. They won it. They had an attack. Harry Kane miscontrols it on the edge of Argentina's box. Argentina then counter. England wanting to be positive and wanting to press. They pressed too many men forward. I don't know if you remember, Simeone gets down on the right-hand side and Jed Spence makes a last-ditch tackle to knock it out for a corner. So immediately after you do that, you go positive and you almost concede. In your mind as a player now, you're thinking, we can't let that happen again. We're 1-0 up, half an hour away from a World Cup final. We have to be a bit more smart, a bit more defensive. And I think those 5 minutes after England scored, what Argentina did really changed the course of the game rather than anything Thomas Tuchel did.
I've got to disagree, Andros. I mean, I hear those points you're saying, but when your first change is concert on for Gordon and go to a back 5, Gordon's our only outlet, by the way. Morgan Rogers is shattered. He's our only quick player who can get us up the pitch. To leave our team without anybody who can get out and try and defend for over 30 minutes, you can't do that, mate. You can't. You know how much possession we had, Andros, in the last 25 minutes?
Yeah.
7.5% possession in the last 25 minutes.
And do you know how much they had from the Gordon goal until when Gordon came off?
I don't know.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, because for me, I've watched the second half twice since the game finished. It's been trauma, but I wanted to make sure I spoke with sense. After England scored, Gordon, I don't think he had many touches because he was having to chase Argentina back the other way. Argentina made changes. They went to a 3-1-6 in the 65th minute. They brought on Nico Gonzalez. They went 3-1-6. Thomas Tuchel tried to stay brave as long as he could. Defending a 4-4-2 against a 3-1-6 is quite stupid. But he left that 11 out until the hydration break when he thought, right, I can't leave it any longer. I'm going to have to make a change. I'm going to have to be a bit more defensive, 5-3-2. So I think he gave that unit as long as possible to try and get themselves back into the game. But 20 minutes after the goal, England, they had probably 1 or 2 attacks. They couldn't get themselves into the game. So the manager had to make a change to try and contain.
So if you're not pointing the finger at Thomas Tuchel, then are you pointing the finger at the players?
I'm not pointing the finger at the players. Yeah, I think Argentina, they won that game in the first 5 minutes after the goal, because 5 minutes after that moment I spoke about where they're looking to press and almost conceding, England play out from the back, Jordan Pickford, a ball goes to Jed Spence and gets cut out, and then Argentina win the ball high up the pitch. Messi tries to get a shot away in the box. So imagine you haven't won a World Cup in 60 years. You're 30 minutes away from a World Cup final. You don't want to be the man to be the scapegoat if you make a mistake. It's natural for a player to think, okay, we're going to be defensive first because I'm not going to be that man that makes a mistake. And I think that sort of honest way of thinking cost them the game. But
Andros, the problem I've got, Andros, what you're saying is that like you go to a 5 at the back, even before the 5 at the back, right? Every cross that went in, we didn't win a header. If you're going to go to 5 at the back, you have to win the headers. You can't be so deep.
That's not Thomas Tuchel's fault. Yeah, that's not Thomas Tuchel's fault. He didn't win a header.
Yeah, but Thomas Tuchel, you invite pressure. In the first half, Messi didn't have a sniff. Anderson was on him. Spence was on him. Second half, he stood on the right-hand side on his own. Rodri de Paul on his own. You can't defend for 30 minutes like that. You've got no get-out ball, so you win the ball, you look up, and you've got no one to get you out. You don't agree that Rashford should have come on, or Saka, or Watkins?
No, I think Nico O'Reilly was the right change. Because listen, Gabby, I've covered Argentina twice in this World Cup. I've watched every single game of them, and every game, Messi starts high, he tries to get the ball in the pockets. As the game goes on, he drops deeper and deeper and deeper. You saw the positions he was picking up in the second half. It was like a centre midfield position on the right. That's what he likes to do. So Thomas Tuchel getting Nico O'Reilly on to defend Messi in a higher position, in a left wing position, is a smarter choice with 15 minutes to go than getting a Rashford to mark Lionel Messi. It doesn't make sense. There was no outball. We had no outball. We tried. We had Morgan Rogers. We had Harry Kane and Bellingham trying to press high. It was not working, Gabby. I promise you, I've watched it twice after the final whistle. Andros, it wasn't working. I covered Argentina. Switzerland made that same mistake.
Yeah. Andros, got to stop you there. We got 4 years to talk about this. Thanks very much indeed, mate.
Pleasure.
Just very briefly, Jason's and Arsenal. A lot of Jasons. Everyone's Jason this morning. So let's get it right. England are never going to win the World Cup because we're not built the same way as other countries. Argentina are mentality monsters. Before they scored, they were like a dog with a bone. As soon as it went 2-1, they committed tactical fouls, broke up play, got yellows, wound us up, and saw it out.